All right, on this video, we're going to learn about transformations. So what we're looking at is a coordinate grid, and we're going to look about on the next couple sections about how to move a figure or the different kinds of movements that we can make within a figure. Excuse me. So when a figure is translated, the x-coordinate of the preimage changes by the value of the horizontal translation, that's right and left, A, and the y-coordinate of the preimage changes by the vertical translation, which we call B. So in other words, what that means is if I have a coordinate x, y, I'm going to move it so far either right or left, and that number we call A, and then I'm going to move it so far up or down, and we call that number B. So this is just kind of a basic formula on how to do that. So with this one, if I wanted to know the horizontal translation for, say, B prime here, that's what we call that little tick mark, B prime, to B, I would say, well, I moved 1, 2, 3 spaces, right? And we actually go from the preimage to the image. So B would be the first one and B prime would be the second one. So I'm actually moving 3 units left. So that would be -3. And if I test that on these other ones, I go 1, 2, 3, and look at that. That's right in line with my A. Same thing with C. If I go 1, 2, 3, it's right in line with C. So now if I look at how far down I moved, if I go B, well, that's 1, 2 spots, right? I just shifted down 2 full spots to get there. So this would be a -2. Okay, so it's just directions. How do I move up, down, right, left? All right, so let's go ahead and look at this. So it says, draw the following triangle after a translation 4 units to the right and 1 unit down. So I want to go 4 units to the right and 1 unit down, okay? So I'm going to go 4 units. I'm just picking a corner to start with. So I went 4 units over and 1 unit down, and that's my new point there. Now I'm going to do the same thing with all the other points. I'm going to go 4 units to the right and 1 unit down, and that's where this corner moved. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this last corner, 4 units over, 1 unit down. And now you can see if I connect, I have that same triangle, it just moved over. That's all it did. It moved over 4 units and 1 unit down. So what if they just give you the coordinates? So like in this one, it says in the coordinate plane, the point A is -1, 3, and is translated to point A prime, -2, 2. Under the same translations, we have points B and point C, and they are translated to B prime and C prime, respectively. What are the coordinates of B and C? So we need to figure out what did we do to get from A to A prime. So we went from -1 to -2. We went from 3 to 2. So if we look at how we did that, we want to figure out how did we get from here to here. So horizontally, that's my x coordinates, I went from -1 to -2. So that means I moved -1, right? I went 1 more to the left. I moved negative. And then how did I move vertically? Well, that's my y coordinates. So I went from 3 to 2. Well, again, that's another negative movement. I went down 1. So my rule is that I'm going to subtract 1 from x and I'm going to subtract 1 from y. So if I test that again, and I already know that's going to end up with -2, 2, as long as I did this right. So -1 plus -1, that is -2. 3 plus -1 is 2. So my rule does work. So let's go ahead and apply it to B. So I have -5 minus 1 and -1 minus 1. So -5 minus 1 is -6. -1 minus -1 is -2. And then I'm going to do the same thing with C. So I have 3 minus 1 and 0 minus 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2, and 0 minus 1 is -1. So that is transformations in the coordinate grid. I hope that helped, and I'll see you in the next video.